So, a new PvZ3 beta released a few weeks ago, now called Plants vs Zombies 3 Evolved, and I tried it. I actually beat all 2000 levels the game currently has, and now I'm making this video because, yeah, there is definitely some stuff to talk about. Before we go any further, yes, this is easily the best PvZ3 beta we've gotten so far. Kinda crazy to say that, considering the first beta of the new version came out back in 2021, and even older if you count the now super outdated 2020 soft launch. Also, I want to divide this video into 4 sections: the things added or changed compared to the previous beta, positive aspects, negative aspects, and a conclusion and my opinion on the future of PvZ3. Without anything else to say, let's get started. What did change from the previous beta? So first of all, they removed the 1 sun meta the game had and brought back an interesting 25 sun meta. I say interesting because now sun that falls from the sky gives you 50 sun, while the one produced by the sunflower gives 25. It's a weird change, but honestly it hasn't really bothered me that much. They also removed all the power-ups the game had, and even the Grapes of Worth that worked as a support plant in the other betas. This is kind of a problem because the level difficulty didn't change. If anything, they actually made it harder, but we will also talk more about this later. Another stupid decision they made is removing the shovel. I've seen some people say they actually like the change, but honestly, why would they remove it? It's one of the core features PvZ has always had, and taking it away doesn't benefit the game at all. It just adds to the already harder levels we have now. Now, what really makes this game stand out is the merging mechanic. In this game, you have the base plants, which are the core of all merges. For example, take the sunflower. When you merge it with another sunflower, you get a twin sunflower. The same goes for pea shooter. Merge 2 of them and you will get a repeater. But what happens if you combine a sunflower with a pea shooter? Well, you get a solar pea, a plant that shoots peas and on every 7th shot produce a sun worth 30 sun. Yeah, this game has some weird rules involving sun, a perfect example being Zaptail, the baby lighting reed, which cost 40 sun. There are so many plant merges, and guess what? You actually need to grind to unlock them, because there is no easy way to get the main resource you need. The only viable ways I've seen to get seeds are through the Zen Garden and Battle Pass. So let's talk about these 2 new features. First, the new Zen Garden, which has changed a lot compared to the previous games. Now there are only 4 slots where you can plant, and that's not the only downgrade because every time you plant something it uses up 1 of your available lives, and these lives take of course a bunch of hours to regenerate. To grow your plants you will need resources, which will be obtainable through minigames. It's a cool idea, but in this beta there's no way to play them, so there is not much more to say about it yet other than it sounds good. Another feature in the Zen Garden is the ability to combine 2 plants to create a merge, which as it grows can give you even more resources. Now let's talk about the Battle Pass, or well, what's now called the Plant Pass. Just like most Battle Passes, there's a free version and a premium one you can pay for. The premium pass basically helps you unlock merges and plants way faster than you could normally. I'm personally not a huge fan of that, but I get it. After developing this game for so long, they do need some kind of way to monetize it. To level up your Plant Pass, you will need to complete daily and weekly tasks. This can range from planting a certain number of plants in the Zen Garden to defeating a set number of zombies. There is quite a lot of variety of them. Another interesting thing they added is the ability to create your own character and customize it however you like. The main problem though is the lack of originality in the cosmetics. Almost all of them look super generic. The only one that really stands out is the Sasquatch one from the Garden Warfare 2, which by the way, it still isn't even obtainable at the time I'm making this video. Alongside that, they also added a social tab where you can create or join communities of up to 24 players. But honestly, the only interesting thing you can do there is contribute to a weekly meta by defeating a certain number of specific zombies and see the members of your community walking around the same town as you. There is no chat, no extra features, and really not much else to do. The Almanac is back. It contains information about plants and their available merges, and it's also where you can level them up. The zombie section works pretty much the same as in PvZ1 or PvZ2. There is also an inventory tab where you can check all your plant seeds and Zen Garden resources. And that's pretty much it for the biggest changes. They've added some new zombies and basically removed the other one from the previous beta, but I will talk more about that later. I really like the new plant merging mechanic. It's pretty clear that it's heavily inspired by a certain fan game that came out earlier this year, but still, I think the way PopCat decided to implement it is actually quite interesting. In fact, it's really useful being able to merge plants whenever you want, since it can save you from certain situations. Also, being able to select which level to play is a must, especially considering that the previous betas didn't even have that feature. Now, about the plant themselves, I gotta say, most of the merged designs look really good. They feel creative, detailed, and overall pretty neat. Sure, some of them don't have their final animation yet, but honestly, they still look pretty solid. Something I found really interesting is how some of these merged plants are actually based on classic ones from the older games, like Slimpy or Electric Pea Shooter. And hey, I also think the new social mode is a pretty cool addition. Being able to join or create your own community is a great idea for a game like this. Yeah, it's got its flaws, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. And about the zombies, the only thing I liked is also their designs, a great example being a Scargoat, which looks like a fusion between a snail and a gargantua. And yeah, that's it, that's all I liked about this game really. Even though this is the best beta we've gotten so far, that doesn't mean it's perfect because oh boy, it's not. Let's start with the most important issue, the complete lack of level design. In case you didn't know, in PvZ3 the waves are time based, that means it doesn't matter if you stall, zombies will keep spawning every few seconds no matter what. And this makes the game way harder than it should be, leaving plants like Walnut pretty much useless compared to older games. On top of that, sometimes multiple zombies can stack up in a single lane, making very little sense in terms of design. Another big problem is the complete lack of variety between levels. I mean, there are 200 levels in total, they are much shorter than the ones in PvZ1 or PvZ2, but still, that's a lot for only a beta. To compare, the entire adventure mode in PvZ2 has 312 levels. PvZ3 just doesn't have enough zombies or mechanics to fill that much content, and it doesn't help that there are no special objectives or minigames like in the previous games. It all ends up feeling repetitive way too fast. And no PopCap, changing the layout of these gaps each level is not good level design. There is also this weird design choice where plantain is now pre-planted on the field, and you basically have to protect it if you want to see through the fog. But honestly, after a while, I stopped even paying attention to it. It just doesn't feel that important. The 200 levels are split between volcano and these water stages, where another odd change is that now you need 50 extra sun to plant on water, because the cost of the lily pad is automatically added. And yeah, you can't even choose lily pad as part of your seed bank. Something else that feels really weird is how zombies start getting random stat boost the farther you go. Stuff like increased health, speed and attack. Instead of feeling like natural progression, it just feels like they made zombies stronger to stretch the difficulty. Most levels got so repetitive that I ended up using the same broken strategy over and over again. In this case, spamming Lightning Reed. This plant, which in this version is a merge that only costs 80 sun, is absolutely insane. Just to give you an idea how strong it is, I managed to beat around 90% of the levels on my first try using nothing but a full column of them. There are actually way more balance issues, but honestly, if I started going through all of them, this video would end up being way too long. So you should really try the game yourself to see what I mean. Another big issue is our own character. I already mentioned the lack of originality in the cosmetics, but what really bothers me is how out of place the character feels during gameplay. They just stand there, staring blankly at the field while everything else happens. It would be great if at least they had some kind of expression system or reactions that trigger depending on what's going on. And sure, we can finally choose our seed bank, which is awesome, but it still feels very limited. Being restricted to only 5 plants give you almost no room to build an actually interesting strategy or experiment with creative setups. Most of the zombies also feel pretty unoriginal. For example, Natural Nut Imp basically works like Balloon Zombie, just with extra steps. And then there are even worse cases like Z-Scout Camper, which is literally just a bunch of imps walking in a line at the same time. I honestly feel like they could put a lot more efforts into the zombie designs and mechanics than what we actually got. In short, what PvZ3 really needs is variety. Variety in zombies, in objectives, and most importantly in easiest way to unlock plants. Because the fact that I only managed to get this after beating all 200 levels and logging in every single day just to grind seeds thanks to the awful Zen Garden life system honestly says a lot. Oh, and also get some actual level designers for the levels, because man, they suck. There is really not much else to talk about because the game doesn't have much more content beyond what I've already covered. It's true that we've seen there will be more than one chapter, but if they are all going to be this long and this boring, I can't say I'm too hopeful. Still, I think it's clear that this is the best beta the game has had since the beginning of its development, but one thing that hasn't changed and continues to be a huge problem is the awful level design. Other than that, this beta actually gave me a bit more hope for the future of PvZ3, and I really hope they fix the issues I mentioned before. If you have any other complaints or thoughts about the game, feel free to leave them down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more Plants vs Zombies content. See ya!